Hello my dear students, welcome to the fourth video of the chapter India Wins Freedom. So we'll revise the chapter, what we have taken in the previous videos, and then we'll come back to the present chapter. In the previous video, we learnt about two movements that has been launched by the Indian government as well as the British government. One was launched by Gandhiji. Its name of the movement was Non-Cooperation Movement. Right, and what has happened in Chauri Chaura also we learnt it. The second was the Simon Commission, which was launched by the British government, but Indian members was not a part of that, so the Indian members boycotted that movement. Now let's come to the last topics of this chapter, India Wins Freedom. The first one is civil disobedience movement. Now let's see what is this movement all about. Civil disobedience movement. This movement, before this movement started, the Congress said that we want Purna Swaraj. What do you mean by this word Purna Swaraj? Complete independence. In order to gain complete independence in the year 1930, under the leadership of Gandhiji, the civil disobedience movement was launched, and they decided that they can start this movement by a Dandi march under the leadership of Gandhiji. Dandi march said that what they had done in Dandi march is that Gandhiji and his followers started walking from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi. Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad and Dandi in Surat. They started walking from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, and they wanted, what they wanted to do, they wanted to break the salt law. Indians were not allowed to make salt, so they walked along the coast of Gujarat and they made salt, and thus they broke the salt law in a peaceful way. They did not use any armed weapons there. Gandhiji was a man of peace, so he wanted to follow a peaceful method. So he formed a method of fighting named as Dandi March. He and his followers started walking from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi along the coast of Gujarat, and they made salt, and they broke the law of salt, which was found by the Britishers. So I repeat once again, in the year 1929, Indian National Congress won Purna Swaraj, complete independence. So in the year 1930, civil disobedience movement was launched under the leadership of Gandhiji. They started the method of fighting named as Dandi March. Gandhiji and his followers, you can see the picture here. Gandhiji and his followers started marching from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi. And what did they do? Along the coast of Gujarat, they made salt, breaking the disobeying the law of British government called as salt law. This is how they fought back against the Britishers. Now let's see the next movement, that is Quit India movement, that happened in August 1942. This movement is also launched by Mahatma Gandhi. What he wanted is to ask the Britishers to quit India, leave India. He asked the people to do or die, to throw out these Britishers from our country. He said that we want complete independence in our country. National-wide protest was happening. So many leaders were jailed, but he wanted our country to set free. So he asked the people, whatever you do for your country, you die for your country, but we want total independence for our country. And that movement is called as Quit India movement. He asked the British government to quit India, to leave India, and God, we want our own independent country. And the movement started in August 1942, and it was launched by Gandhiji. To fight back against the Britishers, we need an army. It is called as Indian National Army. Okay, otherwise in our country we call it as Azad Hind Fauj. Fauj means battalion, a troop, a soldiers. Okay, so Indian National Army was led by Subhash Chandra Bose. What is his name? Subhash Chandra Bose. He led the Indian National Army, or we call it as Azad Hind Fauj. He gave us the slogan Jai Hind. He gave us the slogan Jai Hind. He fought for our country against the Britishers and win freedom for our country. In the year 15th August 1947, our India got total freedom from the Britishers. Soon after the Second World War in 1945, Britishers said that we are going to leave your country, India, and you are free. And what happened? Pakistan and India was separated into two different states, and our India got independent in the year 1947 on 15th August. Of the independent India, our first president, who is our first president? Rajendra Prasad. And who is the first prime minister? Jawaharlal Nehru. Soon after the Second World War in 1945, British said that they agreed that they will leave India and go. And what happened after that? Divided Pakistan and India into two different countries. And we celebrate our Independence Day. We got total freedom. We got free from Britishers in the year 1947 on 15th August. After we have a complete independent state, our first president is Dr. Rajendra Prasad and our first prime minister is Jawaharlal Nehru. From there onwards, our new phase of India started. So today we covered 4 important topics. That is, the first one was civil disobedience movement that was launched by Indians under the leadership of Gandhiji, and they followed Dandi March. And how did they break the salt law? By making salt, which was against the law formed by the Britishers. We showed them how to disobey the law peacefully. Then Quit India movement launched by Gandhiji in the year 1942. He asked the British government to quit India, leave India, and asked the Indians to do or die. Whatever they can do it and set free our country from the Britishers. There was national-wide protest happening, and so many leaders were jailed during the Quit India movement. Then we learnt about our Indian National Army, or we call it as Azad Hind Fauj. It was led by Subhash Chandra Bose, and he played a pivotal role to gain freedom for us. And he gave us the slogan Jai Hind, Jai Hindustan. Lastly, when Britishers left us free on 15th August 1947, our India has started a new phase, having the first president as Dr. Rajendra Prasad and our first prime minister as Jawaharlal Nehru. All the points what you have studied in this chapter are the important events that has occurred before our independence. Okay, there are so many things happened in between. But as in your age, these are the important events, or these are the important freedom fighters you must be knowing in the chapter. That is only why only the important events are being taken and taught to you. There are so many important events that have happened in between. There are so many freedom fighters, but all together at your age it won't be clear for you. When you go to your higher classes, you will learn more and more about your country, India, and its freedom fighters. So for today, this is the chapter. We have covered all the points of the chapter. What you have to do is page number 112, exercise letter A and B. You have to do it of yourself, especially exercise letter B, in that the different movements name is given. You have to memorize the year in which that movement has launched. and which movement it is and under whose leadership it has been launched also. So all these movement what has been said in this chapter is very, very important. Go through your chapter, as usually as I say, go through your chapter, read the textbook clearly, understand the important points, and this will be an easy chapter if you learn it with interest. Thank you, my dear children. We are winding up our video.